Today I want to talk about something, an experience that I've had to deal with most recently in my life, and it's helped me sort of elevate myself in terms of my own understanding and where I'm going in my life and whatnot. I think for a lot of people, not just men, we struggle against circumstance. So what does struggling against circumstance mean? That means you push and you push in your career, in your fitness, in your money, in your relationships, because you want things, you want good things to happen from your life. You know, you want friends, you want a good relationship, and for a lot of people, you might want a lot more money. You know, we get caught so much in this I'd say in this cycle, and when we think we need more and we need more, we need more. And I'm not trying to get to this cliche point of stop wanting more. I want you to understand that when you stop needing, you open your mind and you open the doors of possibility. When you need something, you produce inner and outer resistance. It showcases desperation. And you know, we talk about, okay, this manifestation stuff, all that silly stuff. It's not true that that's all, you know, hunky dory, whatever. But when you need something, you apply resistance in ways in which you can't understand. Your identity essentially is stuck in this sort of survival pattern where you think that you need to force something to get it. So what happens? And what happened with me? You lose energy. You're unable to complete your task on a daily basis because you're always wondering, it's always on your mind. You then, as a result, self-sabotage. Things aren't moving quick enough. Oh, my relationships aren't getting stronger. Why don't I have a girlfriend? Why don't I have more money? Should I do this? Should I do that? And one of the ways in which it's so impactful and so dangerous, and the only way I think I can really illustrate this to you is through my own example, is through the last few months, I've gone through a lot in terms of just lifestyle and work. And I've been dealing with a lot of debt, and I've been trying to pay off a lot of debt. And so in my mind, I thought to myself, how can I pay this debt off? I want more money. That was the first thing on my mind. I want more money. So I said, you know, let me get a van. Let me buy a van so I can do Amazon Flex, or I can do delivery work on the side, because that to me made sense. That's what my identity was meshed with. It understood that it was like, you know, 2 + 2 is 4. You know, that's the easiest sort of solution. I thought to myself, wait a minute, I want more money. No, I need more money. That's what I'm telling myself. So what am I doing? What mistake am I making? The mistake is I'm deciding to get a van, to have £500 payments a month, to pay for insurance, and you know, you don't make money unless you work. So if you don't work, you don't have the money. But instead, why not use that money and pay off that debt? And look, you know, this is a thing where it's like, oh, that's common sense. But when it comes to being a human, when it comes to understanding yourself, there must be a level of humility to understand that you do not think in common sense. You know, okay, I can speak for myself, but at the end of the day, if you really want to grow and if you really want to understand yourself, understand that you probably are making a lot of the wrong decisions in your life. Yeah, okay, you might make a good decision here and there. Yeah, cool. But the majority of your decisions, they seem like they're grounded in common sense and logic, but they're not. But when I stopped and I asked myself, wait, is this me? Am I making sense? Deciding to actually pay off my debt and realizing, okay, well, I don't have a van. Okay, well, I don't have any more money because I paid off the debt. But at the same time, I don't have the debt. And I'm no longer in this survival mode sort of phase and sort of desperation to have more money. And therefore, I take out silly loans of like a van that takes £500 a month to work my ass off to make more money to pay that debt, but still be stressed out, still have some debt, and still have the van. You might notice that with different areas in your life, especially like relationships. Like, think about the relationships that you've been in. How many relationships have failed? How many have been with people that you don't really know or get with or truly understand because you got them in a time where you felt lonely? It's this dynamic where when you continue to need something instead of wanting it, you decide to default on your values and your expectations. You're no longer authentic to yourself. You're choosing what makes you happy in that exact moment because you need it. If you don't have it, it's like your identity telling you, if we don't have this, something is wrong. That's why patience is so important for me, especially because I figured out that when I'm patient and I wait and I think, things usually improve. And it's one of those things because I think we're in an economy right now where we have to move. Things have to go fast. You need to be in a new relationship. You need to have more money. You need to have a better job. You need to look better with your body. You need everything. But when you start needing things, especially in this consumerist economy, you don't take the best option. You don't take the best offer. That's what I've learned. Instead of needing, I want. Okay, yeah, I want a great relationship. I want friends. I want more money. But how can I choose to do that? And I think one of the main sort of bottlenecks to that was patience and discipline. Patience and discipline is so incredibly hard, especially if you've been down on your feet or down on your knees for a very long time. You know, you don't have a job that pays well, you've broken up with your girlfriend, your relationship's bad, or you just, life is just completely bad for you in this current moment. It's often hard to hear this sort of information and think, well, what's he talking about? I could get around. If I need a car, then I'm gonna get a car. You know, there's circumstances where you do need something, but try and take a step back is what I would tell myself. Yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. You might need a vehicle to get to and from work, but are there alternatives? Something that I've learned is that there's always a second option. Take time with your decisions, and that will pay you grandly. Things aren't going anywhere. Nothing is going anywhere. Nothing's out of your grasp. Your identity feels fear when you don't have what you want right now. And that's the old version of you. The new version of you wants change. The new version of you wants to grow, wants to be different. But the old habits, they've kept you alive for so long because you didn't know how to look after yourself. And that's not necessarily your fault. We're put into positions in our lives where people don't look after us, people don't guide us, people don't teach us. Especially now, there's such a lack in strong, authentic role models that you have to learn doing it your own way. And then what happens? You develop these habits, which aren't necessarily bad in the moment, but they're the reason why you're stuck now. Once you change those habits and you change this sort of thought processing needing to wanting, something interesting happens. You decide to make different decisions and it will feel uncomfortable at first because it's not you, it's the old you. And then your body starts to reject it, thinking, well, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing something else than what we're usually supposed to do? You know, red alarms, things are going crazy. But it's a good thing. If you're doing a good thing, stick with it and you'll start to see a good result. Just something I thought I'd say.